saying in your head, am I solving problems or am I creating problems? All right, you guys, welcome to Friday's Live. I'm talking with you all about tips for teacher leadership today for online ESL teachers. I have 3 tips, and tip number 1 is work ethic. Tip number 2 is getting noticed, obviously in a positive way. And tip number 3 is networking. So let's start with work ethic. Work ethic, obviously, you want to be professional, give your 110%, be on time, try not to have attendance issues as an online teacher, and then create something, offer value, do something before you're asked, if it's possible, and prove that you are somebody that people can count on. So, some ways that I did this in the beginning, I think, was through social media. I created YouTube videos and I created Facebook groups. And with those videos and Facebook groups, I helped solve problems. I had a background in teaching. I had a background in ESL. So I really felt comfortable providing tips, advice, giving tutorials, and whatnot. So if you have something that you know that you can offer, provide that value, no charge. You want to show people that you can help them without expecting anything in return. That is what leads you to getting noticed in a positive way. And then hopefully it leads you to some type of teacher leadership position. Obviously, when you're doing these things, you never know, but your effort, usually you give and receive. That's the hope. That's what you want to work towards. It's not in the back of your mind like, oh, I have to receive XYZ. You're hopefully you're enjoying when you're giving. Because anytime that I was sharing something, I had 100%, I enjoyed it. It wasn't like I was thinking, oh, I want this to lead to my next promotion. I didn't have that in my head. I was just like, I like YouTube, I like social media, and I was like, well, I might as well share what I already know. Okay? So have it in your mind to share and give. Now, in terms of getting noticed, you want to be professional and diplomatic, and you want to have this kind of saying in your head, am I solving problems or am I creating problems? Because social media especially, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? I don't even have to say it. So are you the person that's giving and solving problems, or are you the person that's creating them? Are you being diplomatic and professional, or are you causing a stink? And if there is a real problem, if there is something you're frustrated with, how can you deal with it in the most diplomatic way possible? You really have to think about the language that you're using, how you word things, and how to communicate it with the right person, and go about it in a way that is solving problems for people instead of creating them. Okay? And then the last thing we're going to talk about is networking. I think teachers underestimate this. They might not even be thinking about it. I think when you think of networking, you think of business people, but I really encourage teachers to start networking more and more. Networking is getting to know people because that can lead to new possibilities, new opportunities. Now, just like I said before, you're not going to be doing something just to get something in return. You really want to enjoy networking, making friends. So anytime that I have networked, it was really just creating a friendship. And you want to create friends with people who lift you up. You're not thinking like, oh, this is going to lead me to my next promotion or my next big thing. No. You're just making friends with people so that you can share and you can learn. So again, you want to come at it with providing value for people and surrounding yourself with people who lift you up and you're lifting them up as well. I would say try to meet people who you know are as hardworking as you are. Meet people who you can offer them something and teach, but they can also teach you. And how do you do this? You can go to events, look in Facebook groups, make friends with people who you notice like to share valuable things and who have that similar work ethic as you. And reach out to people. Don't be afraid to send a direct message. Most of the time when I'm getting direct messages, it's people asking me a question, which I absolutely love. But if somebody came to me with something like, I really appreciate blah, 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 and if you ever need XYZ, that would be a surprise to me because I don't get that kind of message very often. So that is going to stick out in my head that person did that, and I'm going to come to them later. And if I ever, want to work with them, of course, I would love that, because they brought something valuable to me or they said something kind to me. How often are you getting a direct message where somebody is saying something kind or offering something, that surprises you? So definitely think about that when you network with people. And then always just build rapport with people. Eventually, if you find a group of people that you really connect with, you can share advice back and forth, create a mastermind. I have a mastermind with some other online ESL teachers, and they're from different companies. So you don't have to just think of your own company. You can connect with people from other online ESL companies. And you could do that through Facebook. You could do that through Instagram. So look out. I find it easier if it's from another ESL company. I usually find those people on Instagram or YouTube. So just think about that, using different outlets for different things. And let's just recap really quick. You want to think about your work ethic. You want to think about getting noticed in a positive way and networking. And then I think I may have said this before, but I just want to emphasize it again. You want to provide something to the company or to the people that work for the company that they're not expecting and nobody asked you to do it. So anytime that you can show that you have something valuable, share it. You don't want to force it down people's throats, but you want to share it in a way that makes sense, in a location that makes sense. So whether that's Facebook or YouTube, or if the company needs something, be the first to sign up and show them what you are capable of. The other thing that I didn't really talk about is networking with people from the company. So if you have a chance to communicate via email, if you find somebody on LinkedIn, a lot of teachers kind of forget about LinkedIn. So if you're not on LinkedIn, get on there and, post something on there. Show that what company you work for. That's how I ended up getting recruited to one of the companies that I work for, was through LinkedIn, because I had my first ESL company on there, then a second one recruited me. And now that I've built my social media, I get emails all the time from different companies asking if I want to collaborate, asking if I'd like to work for them. So do not underestimate LinkedIn, social media, and putting yourself out there in the most positive way possible if you're comfortable with that. Because I know not everybody is comfortable with social media. I would say the last way would be a blog, and a blog is very powerful too. So because it's connected to Google and people can find you that way. So that's it, you guys. We talked all about teacher leadership and tips for leading to teacher leadership. Once you do one thing, it leads to the next and hopefully gets you noticed in a positive way where people will reach out to you. And that's where you can take your next steps to a new opportunity teaching online. All right, you guys, I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next live next Friday, 11:30 a.m. Central Time. Bye-bye.